Hey guys, and welcome back to the Peteytown Piranhas, a college football 26 team builder dynasty. In this episode, we are going to be finishing the regular season with games against Kansas State, UCF, and Arizona. Before we enter this final stretch, we're going to take a look at the Big 12 standings. We are on top as we haven't lost in conference yet, but neither have Oklahoma State and our upcoming opponent, Kansas State, so very important game against them coming up here, but still a lot to be decided as far as who's going to be in that conference title game. And if the conference standings weren't enough, this game against Kansas State is also important for recruiting, as we got 5-star Mike linebacker Enrique Moultrie on a visit, as well as halfback Jamal Tavares. We also have free safety Bruce Tolbert just ahead of Michigan right now, but they do have that Tier 5 pipeline, so that's a little scary, and we're trying to help that along with a hard sell. We also have a couple of guys who are doing a hard sell and soft sell strategy on with Leon Brahms, as we're trying to outlast Miami for him. And we also got right guard Juan Uridia with that, as we're trying to fight off Vanderbilt, but we do have the Tier 5 pipeline, so that should help with us. One more item on the checklist is that we got some coaching points to spend, and we are going to use it here in Master Motivator on our linebackers. So we're going to get this all the way down to Tier 3 so we can get those XP gains for them. With all that business taken care of, now it's time to step onto the field for our important matchup against Kansas State with their 78 overall, undefeated conference record, and 6-2 overall record. So hopefully we can put our best foot forward in this game. Kansas State is going to start with a pass over the middle, and that's going to be good for 9 yards. And right up the middle with the running game, and they're going to have the gap they need for the big chunk play. Here's play action for Kansas State. They're going to launch it over the middle, and it's going to be complete. We got a hit on him, but he manages to secure the ball, and now they're in our territory. Kansas State has gotten into our territory, but they're on a 3rd down now. They're going to drop back to throw, and we are going to bring the pressure, and it will get home as DeAndre Hepburn is going to get in there for the sack to stall out this drive. And that is DeAndre's 10th sack on the season. Kansas State is going to try the 59-yard field goal here. They're going to put it up, and of course it's going to go straight through, so Kansas State will end up salvaging that drive after the sack with a field goal to go up 3-0. Here is Chuck Noll right up the middle, getting a nice chunk play, and we are going to start our drive with a 9-yard gain, just like Kansas State did. And they're going to bring a blitz, and we're just going to throw right over top of it to Alex Payne. Myers dropping back, steps up in the pocket, and that is a weird catch there, but I'm glad we made it for the first down, thanks to Sam Miles. Myers slings one, and it is an accurate pass right where it needed to be for Alex Payne. He's got some traffic over there, but just delivered it nicely from Nate Myers. Throwing here, it's going to be to the outside, and it is stuck to the hands of our receiver, Nick Cummins, on a nice catch with their defender draped all over him. And here's Manu Ochi. He's going to bounce out of that traffic and almost got in there, but they managed to tackle him before he could get in. Another try for Manu, and this time he's going to cut back and get into the end zone on a dive, and the Peteytown Piranhas are going to take the 7-3 lead. We got Kansas State off the field on a 3-and-out last drive, and our offense is facing a 3rd down here, but it's going to be a nice toss from Nate Myers, and we are going to get a big play on that one thanks to Justice Vandermeide. Off an RPO, it's going to be a nice little slant route for 9. And it's going to be another short completion to get the first down easily as the first quarter comes to a close. Little wildcat action, and we are going to get the blocks that we need, and Chuck Noll is getting out of there nicely, and he gets it inside their 10-yard line. Myers is going to drop back to pass, but their man just absolutely abused our right tackle on that play and got in quickly for the sack. That sack will back us out of their 10-yard line now as we're at the 12, and it's going to be a handoff for Chuck Noel, and he gets some of that back and then some. 3rd down and goal for the Peteytown Piranhas. Nate Myers is going to drop back. They're going to send the blitz. We're going to just throw the slant out to Sam Miles, and he will make the catch for the touchdown. And the Peteytown Piranhas are going to go up 14-3 on the Kansas State Wildcats. Here's a RPO, and they get the slant out there easily for the 1st down. And we are going to get the sack on this play as Jake Arkin and Byron Leon combine for the sack. Just a little coverage sack there as their quarterback couldn't find anybody, and our guys cleaned up that mess. Here's a little power O play, and we stuff them back in the backfield. It takes a lot of effort to bring them down, but we eventually do. Kansas State just moving backwards on this drive. They're going to try a reverse play to the outside, and it's just going to go even more backwards as they've lost 14 total yards on that drive, and they are going to have to punt it away. Myers throwing a nice slant out there, maybe more of an in route for Sam Miles, but whichever it was, it's going to be a 1st down. Myers looking, he's going to toss one to the corner, and it is going to be caught nicely out there. We have been making some nice contested catches today on them, and that's just going to keep moving the chains. Here's a handoff, but we just get absolutely blown up there. Offensive lineman looking lost. 3rd and 14, we're going to send our man in motion. Nate Myers looking, and he is going to be taken down for another sack. And Kansas State's, their pass rush is kind of disrupting things a little bit on this drive, but we'll see if Manuel Amador can salvage it with a field goal. Here's Manuel Amador for the field goal attempt. He's going to put it up, and it is sailing through the uprights, so the Peteytown Piranhas are going to take the 2-touchdown lead here. Here's a run up the middle for Kansas State, and we're going to take them down, but not after an 8-yard gain. 3rd and 2 for Kansas State. They got 4 wide receivers to the left of this formation. It's going to be a screen out of it, and he's going to get just enough for the 1st down. Play action for Kansas State. In the face of pressure, he's going to deliver an 8-yard completion. 3rd and 2 for Kansas State. Almost at the 2-minute warning here. This play will bring us there, and it's going to be an easy slant for the 1st down. 3rd down and 3 for Kansas State. Bunch to the right. We're sending in pressure, and they're just going to throw it right where the blitz was coming from. Kansas State is getting that one blown up by Sean Leonhardt and friends in the backfield. He's got the time he needs, and he floats one out there to his wide receiver. He was outside the numbers and makes that secure catch. Here's a little play action. Pressure is coming, and he is not going to get away from it as we're going to bring him down for our 3rd sack of the ball game. 3rd down and 11 here for Kansas State. You're going to drop back. We're going to bring some pressure. He's trying to roll away from it, but we are going to take him down on a nice stick there. Looked like Byron Leon on the sack. And we already know this kicker can hit from long distance, and he's got another one here to try and put in. He is going to put up the kick, and it is through again. So he's had a couple of nice kicks for them, and that's going to make it 17-6. So Peteytown Piranhas got 2 timeouts and 36 seconds left of the half. We'll see what we try to do here, and we are going to try a deep ball to the outside, and it is going to be knocked away and intercepted. So a little bit unnecessarily aggressive there, but we had a chance on the jump ball, but they did make a fantastic defensive play there to pick it off. And for some reason we're celebrating, so that got messed up a little bit with the graphics. So complete reversal as we were trying to see if we can get some points before the end of the half, and now Kansas State is set up to try to do that, and they're going to start with threading the needle there on the pass. Over the middle again, it's going to be complete, and they're going to take their final timeout. This is going to be a 37-yard kick for their man, much easier than the previous 2 he's had to make. And he is going to put it through easily. So 3 field goals in that first half for Kansas State, and it's going to make it 17-9. Here's a little RPO. That's going to get us a nice chunk play and the first down. On a 3rd down and 8, the Piranhas have 2 backs in the backfield with Myers. And he's going to drop back, throw it over the middle, and it's going to be caught on a big chunk play for the Peteytown Piranhas. Alex Payne making the play. Here is Chuck Noel on the carry, and he is easily going to get the first down. So a couple of nice runs here by Chuck, really setting us up nicely. Manu Ochi is going to get a turn on the carry, and he's going to get his 6 yards. 3rd and 2 for the Peteytown Piranhas, trying to score here. Nate Myers looking. He's got somebody, and he's going to throw it into the end zone. An absolute dart, too. Looks like Sam Miles getting in there again for his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Peteytown Piranhas will open this half with their touchdown drive to make it 24-9. After our touchdown drive, both offenses couldn't really do anything, and Kansas State is here on a 3rd down and 7, sending a man in motion. They're going to drop back to throw, and we are going to get the pressure in as DeAndre Hepburn gets in there again for another sack, and we are going to force them off the field. Piranhas on a 3rd down and 6 here. Nate Myers pointing out some changes. He's going to drop back. He has a clean pocket, and he's going to throw it, and our receiver comes back to it to make the nice catch. Another 3rd down situation as we're on a 3rd down and 9. Dropping back, they're going to send a blitz. We pick it up, and it is going to be intercepted by their safety back there, and he's going to get a good return out of that to bring it near midfield. Just Nate Myers throwing a deep post route there, and their safety was sitting there waiting for the ball. Kansas State trying to make this a 1-possession game now as after that interception, and they are going to get a run here, and it is just absolutely going nowhere. Helped by that TFL on 1st down. It's 3rd down and 11 for Kansas State. They're going to drop back, and they're going to try a screen pass, and our man fights off the block and delivers a big hit, and that's going to get Kansas State off of the field. After our nice defensive stop, our offense got off the field on a 3-and-out, so Kansas State is back out here trying to make it a 1-possession game, and it is not going to work again as he's absolutely lifted by Eric Gooden. 3rd down and 10 for Kansas State from the pistol. They're looking. He's going to try a deep corner, and it is knocked away nicely by Daryl Hollis. Needing to make something happen here, they're going to go for it on 4th down and 10. Kansas State looking over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete on some nice coverage there. Myers has a drag over the middle, and he takes it for 9 yards or 8 yards. Incompletion on 2nd down is going to make it a 3rd down and 2 for the Piranhas. Nate Myers is going to take it and drop back, and he is going to throw a corner, and it is incomplete on a nice hit from their DB. Manuel Amador looking to stretch this to a 3-possession lead again. He's going to come out for the field goal. He's going to put it up, and it sails through the uprights and is good, and we are going to go up 27-9. Another handoff for their running back, and they're just going to try to run this down the field, I guess. 3rd down and 4 here for the Wildcats. They're going to drop back, looking, throw it to the side, and their man is going to run out of bounds before he can get to the 1st down marker. 4th down and inches here. Need this stop to seal the game. They're going to throw it, and they're going to get it easily. Run here again, and they're kind of catching us off guard here, thinking they're going to pass, and they're just getting some gashing runs. Here's a throw for Kansas State, and that's going to get them just outside of our red zone. On the hitch route, they're going to get it inside of our 5-yard line. And then it's going to be intercepted in the end zone by Sean Leonhardt. So Kansas State was putting together a nice drive, trying to make the score a little closer, but Sean Leonhardt makes sure that doesn't happen, and that will be it for this game. So not a spectacular win by the Piranhas as far as Flash goes, but it is a very important one for our conference standing and recruiting, and I think the Piranhas handle themselves well, especially on defense, and we're going to take this 27-9 victory. So not a lot of yardage between the two teams in this game, as we had 298 to their 210, but we did outgain them in the running game with 72 yards and a touchdown, while they had -9. Through the air, we just managed to outgain them 226 to 219, and they were 6 of 15 on third down, while we were 5 of 11. One negative was that we lost the turnover battle, as we had 2 interceptions and they had 1 interception. Nate Myers was just okay in this game, as he had 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. One was off a tip drill, and I think he might have had his guy for a jump ball situation, but maybe want to see him make a better read there. And then the second one was just kind of a bad read with their safety sitting back there waiting for it. And then he was also sacked twice today. Chuck Nola was solid with 13 carries and 65 yards, while Manu Ochi had 6 carries, 11 yards, and a touchdown. No big numbers in the receiving game. Alex Payne led us with 4 catches and 65 yards, while Sam Miles was effective with 8 catches, 64 yards, and 2 touchdowns. On defense, we had a handful of guys making a lot of tackles out there, led by Gio Arma with 12, then Maurice Joy and Eric Gooden got 11 each, and Sean Leonhardt got himself 10 tackles. With sacks, DeAndre Hepburn had 2, while Nate Haslam and Thomas Caver each had 1, and then half a sack each went to Byron Leon and Jake Arkin. And then we saw that interception late in the game by Sean Leonhardt. Manuel Amador continued his brilliance with 2 field goals made and a long of 54. And recruiting-wise, we got Mike linebacker Enrique Moultrie to come in off that visit, and Jamal Tavares joined the club, so those visits worked out very well for them. And we are mere millimeters away from Elijah Addison joining the club, but Georgia did get a little more of a boost this past week than we did, so that really isn't a cut and dried one, especially with it being a recruiting battle. So we'll just have to wait and see. It could really go any which way at this point. Now it's time for our battle with UCF, and they're 69 overall. Nice. And they got a 1-8 record, so hopefully we just focus and take care of them. Our offense opens the game with a 3-and-out, so USF comes out here for the first time, and they're getting a tackle for a loss immediately of 5 yards from Byron Leon. USF throwing it, and it's going to be intercepted by Zach McGarrigle, and he's got the space he needs, and he's going to return it all the way back for a pick 6. So Zach McGarrigle with excellent coverage there, and he is going to make the score for our defense, and we're going to go up 7-0. After the pick 6, both offenses have had drives stall out, and UCF is out here now a little deep in their territory. They're going to go with a play action and throw it over the middle to a wide open man, and he's going to get enough for the first down and get him out of that deep territory situation. Here comes a 3rd down and 9 for the Knights. They are going to go with a motion to the other side of the formation, and they are going to drop back. Look, and it's going to be a sack for Jake Arkin. So a nice coverage sack there allows Jake Arkin to get in there and disrupt the play. After our defensive stop, it's 3rd down and 7 here for the Piranhas. 2 backs with Nate Myers. He's going to drop back. He's going to try a deep ball here, and it is going to be incomplete and intercepted. Oh my goodness. And they're going to get a big return out of it all the way back to about the 45-yard line. Can't really blame Nate Myers for that one. It looked like our receiver had it in his hands, but they just knocked it out of there, and luckily their guy came over and made a play on the ball, so now UCF is going to take over. Here's a handoff for UCF, and he hit a little acceleration, but it only netted 7 yards. And a read option is beautifully executed there by their quarterback, and we have to crunch him down before he gets to the 25-yard line. And it's going to be another read option, and their quarterback has been cooking us a little bit with that play. And this time it's going to be blown up in the backfield nicely by Thomas Caver. 3rd down and 11 here on defense from the 15-yard line. UCF is in an empty formation. We are going to bring pressure, and he's going to get it out before the pressure gets there. And it is going to be intercepted on a jump ball. That's Zach McGarrigle making his 2nd interception of the game. And we are going to survive without giving up any points to the Knights. Myers throwing it quickly, and it's going to be Justice Vandermeide getting the space he needs. 3rd down and 8 here for the Piranhas. And Nate Myers is going to throw it into a window, and that is a nice throw there from our quarterback. On their side of the 50, it's 3rd down and 10 for the Piranhas. We're going to drop back, see what we got. It's going to be Manu Ochi open in the middle of the field, and we are going to get that 1st down. Myers is looking here. He's going to throw the slant nicely for 9 yards, caught by Nick Cummins. Myers steps up, and it's Nick Cummins, old reliable, getting there for the 1st down. Myers looking. He's going to float one over their defender to Nick Cummins. Oh my goodness, if that guy made a play, he had an easy interception, but fortunately he didn't. Myers going to throw again. It's going to be over the middle on some slants, and it's going to be Sam Miles getting himself into the end zone. So after a couple of touchdowns last game, he gets into the end zone again, and that's going to make it a 14-0 ball game. So neither offense really does much at the end of the 1st half, and UCF couldn't do much on their 1st drive, but we're getting a nice run from Chuck Noel to start our 1st drive of the 2nd half. And Chuck Noel is going to get a nice gap in the middle and get a 1st down. It's a 3rd down and 7 looking at the Piranhas now. Nate Myers is going to send Chuck Noel in motion. He's going to look over the middle, and it's Nick Cummins, and he's got some space to work with, and he's going to get a nice gain just outside their red zone. After our big pass play, it's already 3rd and 12 for the Piranhas. And Nate Myers is going to drop back. And he is going to fire with some pressure, and even though he was getting hit, he delivered a strike to Sam Miles to put it inside their 10. Manu Ochi is going to get a carry here, and he's got the wide open lane to get it into the end zone. Manu Ochi is going to put us up 3 scores as it's 21-0. After the Manu Ochi score, our defense got a 3 and out, so our offense is out here. Nate Myers throwing to a wide open Sam Miles for 9 yards. Handoff for Chuck Noel, and he's going to get just enough for the 1st down. To the outside, Manu Ochi's got some space to work with on a nice read from Nate Myers, and that's going to be plenty for the 1st down. Nate Myers is going to take this one himself, and he's got a wide open lane, and it's a big run there for Nate Myers as he gets it inside their 10-yard line. Inside their 10 now, the Piranhas are going to set up a pass. Nate Myers just gets it out. Oh my goodness, how did he complete that pass to Nick Cummins for the touchdown? Nate Myers was getting hit hard to the ground, but somehow he got that one out of there, and we're going to go up 28-0 on UCF. He's going to roll out, and he is going to be taken down behind the line by Sean Leonhardt to get him a sack. That'll be our 3rd sack of the ball game. And it's going to be another sack as Byron Leon gets in there, so back-to-back sacks are going to put him way behind the sticks now. And here's a deep ball try for UCF, and it's going to be knocked away. Probably going to give the starting offense one more drive to see what they do, and then after that I'll bring in the backups to finish out this game. 3rd down and 3 for the Peteytown Piranhas. Nate Myers dropping back. He's going to float one to the side, and it's going to be incomplete just through the hands. And we're going to punt this one away. And I'm going to bring in the backups now and sim to the rest of the game, so I'll see you all at the end. So the Piranhas are going to come away with this 28-0 win over the UCF Knights. Wasn't exactly a pretty game on both sides, but definitely effective on defense, and our offense did just enough. Against UCF, we had 339 yards to their 234. And we also got 122 rushing yards and a touchdown, while they got to 99. And then through the air, we had 217 yards to their 135. We were 6 of 12 on third down to their 2 of 11. And we also got 3 turnovers on them, while they forced 1 on us. Nate Myers had a solid day today with 217 yards and 2 touchdowns and an interception that I said while I was watching I didn't really think was his fault anyway. And then there was 0 sacks on him. Chuck Noll had 14 carries for 55 yards, while Manu Ochi had 7 for 22 and another rushing touchdown. On the receiving end, Nick Cummins had a nice day with 7 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown, while Sam Miles had 5 for 61 and a touchdown. Gio Arma was all over the place making tackles, where he got 14 of them. Jake Arkin and Byron Leon each got 1.5 sacks, while Sean Leonhardt and Garrison Temple had a sack each. And then we got half a sack from Thomas Caver and Trey Rizzo. Zach McGarrigle had a very nice day with 2 picks, one being in the end zone and one that he returned to the end zone for a pick 6. And then Gio Arma got a pick in garbage time. 3-star gem right guard Juan Uridia is going to be joining the Peteytown Piranhas. For his 2 interception effort, Zach McGarrigle was the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week, and Zach McGarrigle was also named National Defensive Player of the Week. As for Elijah Addison, we are still in first place, but Georgia has their visit with him this week, so really just waiting to see what he decides to do at this point. Now it's time to step into our final game of the regular season against the Arizona Wildcats and their 74 overall and 4-6 record. So hopefully we can close the regular season strong. Here's play action for Arizona to start the game, and they're going to throw it to the outside, and it's overthrown and intercepted, and now we got a clear lane to the end zone, and it's going to be a pick 6. That'll be George Emmanuel on the pick 6. Just a right place, right time as their quarterback tried to make a play on the first one, and we are going to take the extremely early 7-0 lead. Here's a quick pass for Arizona, and this time they're off to a much better start as they're going to have the first down. Bringing a blitz here, and they are not going to get away from it as we get the sack with Gio Arma. Gio sack is going to get us to a 3rd down and 14 situation. Arizona dropping back, looking, the pressure is coming in, and he's going to have to throw it away. Nate Myers is going to start the game with a nice toss out to Alex Payne for 7 yards. And another one for Alex Payne as he's got 2 quick catches to start the game, and this one's going to get us to the 41-yard line. And again, Alex Payne is going to make the catch for 8 yards as we've run that play basically 3 times in a row. It's going to be a different play, but a good result as well for this one as Sam Miles is going to make the catch. Myers stepping up into a clean pocket, and it collapsed on him quickly, but he still managed to get the ball out for our guy Justice Vandermeide. And here comes Nate Myers again. He's going to float one, and it is caught nicely by Chuck Noll in front of their defender. So draped all over him, but he had the concentration enough to pull it in. Myers is going to throw to the end zone, and he sticks it right onto our receiver. That's going to be Justice Vandermeide getting himself into the end zone, and the Peteytown Piranhas are going to go up 14-0. Play action, Arizona tossing it over, and he gets it in between 2 defenders. And it's going to be, looked like maybe an RPO pass, but Sean Leonhardt is going to bring down their quarterback for the 5-yard loss, and will probably get credited for a sack. 3rd down and 11 for Arizona. They are going to drop back and fire it to their safety valve, but that's going to not get anywhere close to the 1st down. Nate Myers is throwing it out there, and coming back to the ball nicely is going to be Sam Miles. Here's a little power eye situation on 2nd down and 2 for the Piranhas. It's going to be handed off to Chuck Noll, and he fights off a tackle attempt, and now Chuck Noll's got a lot of space to work with as he gets it inside their 35-yard line. Myers is going to throw the slant, and that's going to be Sam Miles for 9 yards. And Chuck Noll is going to get this carry, and he's going to get the first down. And Manu Ochi is going to get this carry, and he is going to carry that man inside the 10-yard line. Myers throws the stick route out there for Alex Payne, and he's going to get it just at the 1-yard line. 3rd down and goal for the Piranhas here. And we are going to go with a pass out of our favorite play we like to use. Haven't seen it in a little while, but we are going to get it out there to Nick Cummins, and he's going to make it a 3-score lead to start the 2nd quarter. After our touchdown, the defense got a 3-and-out, so our offense is out here on 2nd down. Nate Myers is going to throw to an open Alex Payne. They just left him open in the middle there, and he's going to take it into their territory. Nate Myers is throwing, and it's going to be complete, and it's going to be put on the ground for a fumble, and we are going to take a look at that one to see if that was actually a fumble. Petey Previtt throwing out the challenge flag, and his arm is down, so I think the Piranhas are going to get this ball back. And Petey Previtt was right, so the Peteytown Piranhas will be on a 3rd down and 5. Nate Myers is going to throw it over the middle for Manu Ochi, and we're going to get the first down. Nate Myers dropping back, and he's going to throw it nicely over the middle, and we're going to get the first down thanks to, looks like, Justice Vandermeer, who's been active today. Myers stepping up into the pocket, try to get through there, but their defensive tackle was all over that one, not letting him get free. Coming out in I formation, trying to get some of the sack yardage back, and we will do that and more as we get to a 3rd down and 3. Myers is going to hand it off to Manu Ochi, and he's got the room, and he's got a juke move that gets him free to get into the end zone. So Manu Ochi is going to finish off that drive. After the scare from that fumble early on, the Piranhas rebound and get this ball into the end zone to take a 4-score lead. Sending a blitz are the Piranhas, and it gets enough jumbled up there for us to get Thomas Caver in there to get the sack. Arizona floating it over the middle, and he's going to get a good chunk of that sack yardage back. 3rd down and 7 for the Wildcats. They're going to drop back and throw it over the middle to the check down, but it's fumbled and they pick it up, but not going to be enough for a first down anyway, so this challenge doesn't really mean a lot, even though we are challenging it for some reason, but not going to really make much of a difference on this play. Oh boy, that's going to be an interception from Nate Myers trying to get it to our outside receiver, but instead of trying to get some air under that one, he threw it on a line, and Arizona was waiting for it, and they're going to pick it off. Blitz here from the Piranhas, and the pressure is eventually going to get there for a 4th sack of the game, and Byron Leon is going to get that one. 3rd and very long here for Arizona. They're going to throw out of it, and somehow we left that man wide open, and he's going to get the first down off a 3rd down and 18. Here's a blitz for the Piranhas again, and it's going to get in again as Eric Gooden, DeAndre Hepburn, and friends all converge on him. So when we've been sending the blitz in this game, Arizona has shown they have no answer for it, and we use it again to great effect on that play. Let's see if they have it in them to convert another 3rd and 18. Arizona looking, they're just going to dump it off here, and this time they won't convert it. And we are going to take a timeout to try to preserve some time for our offense. We're going to come out and attempt about a 47-yard field goal attempt. And he puts it up, and it is through. So Arizona is finally on the board to make it 28-3. Nate Myers to the outside, and he's going to throw another interception. Oh my God. Interception's going to put Arizona in a spot where they can do something with it, but DeAndre Hepburn is going to make that much more difficult with a sack there. Arizona, and this time we are going to get our interception. That's going to be our second one of the day, and this time it's from Eric Gooden, and we are just going to trade interceptions with Arizona here near the end of the half. Myers is going to throw over the middle, and it's going to be caught for 9 yards. Myers throwing it quickly, and Sam Miles is going to get enough for the first down. Myers clean pocket, he's going to throw it outside, and this time it's going to be caught outside the numbers to put us in a nice scoring position. And we're not going to mess around here, we're just going to send Manuel Amador out to attempt the field goal, and he is going to put it straight through, so the Peteytown Piranhas are going to take a 31-3 lead into halftime. Myers dropping back here. He is going to float it over to Manu Ochi, who's got some space, and we are going to get that first down. Here's an RPO, and it's going to be the pop pass, and Alex Payne is going to take that for a nice gain. And here comes Nate Myers. He's going to throw into quadruple coverage. I just cannot anymore. I don't understand why he makes these decisions. It's going to be another interception for Nate Myers, and at this point I'm just going to let, with the score being what it is, I'm going to let David Allote come out here and just let Nate Myers sit down and calm down, because I really don't understand why this is happening with him. And Arizona is going to get the completion over the middle and get the first down. And that is going to be a sack by our defense, and it looks like DeAndre Hepburn was around there again, and Jake Arkin, and that's going to be Jake Arkin's 40th sack of his career, so no DeAndre Hepburn, just all Jake Arkin on that play. 3rd and 13 for Arizona, very spread out here, and he's going to drop back, and he's going to get hit as he throws, and it's going to be incomplete. So after our offense gets kicked off the field, we get a 3-and-out on Arizona. David Allote is going to throw it short on the drag route, and he's going to let Justice Vandermeide do the rest of that with a run after the catch. Allote is going to throw it quickly out into the flat, and he's got a lot of space out there. Manu Ochi. Allote looking around. He's actually going to take off and scramble for the first down. He's a pocket passer, so didn't really expect that, but it is effective. Allote looking. He's going to hit the drag again for 9 yards. 3rd down and 1. Empty formation for the Piranhas here. And they're crowding the line, showing some blitz, but they're going to back out of it. And David Allote is going to throw it to the side, but it's going to be 4th and inches. 4th and inches, Petey Previtt says, might as well see what we can do. And Chuck Knoll is going to make it an easy decision and get a nice gap to run through. He's going to bring it all the way to the 1-yard line. Here's the first play of the 4th quarter. It's 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. David Allote is handing it off to Manu Ochi, who's got no room. And we are going to throw over to a wide open man. It's going to be Alex Payne getting into the end zone for the Peteytown Piranhas. And that'll do it for this one, as we have the 35-point deficit that we've created for the Arizona Wildcats. And at this point, I'm just going to let some backups come in and play, and I'll see you guys at the end. Well, it's not often you see your starting quarterback get benched during a 45-10 dominant win by your team, but that definitely happened in this game. But outside of those interceptions, very happy with how the Piranhas performed today. And yeah, that's a really good ending to this regular season as we finish at 12-0. So looking at these numbers, we had 478 yards to their 181, and we ran for 138 yards and a touchdown, while they only got, they just got negative 24 yards and a touchdown. And we had 340 passing yards to their 205. They were 2 of 10 on 3rd down, while we were 5 of 7. Then going down to the turnovers, they had 2, but we had those 3 interceptions from Nate Myers where I'm just kind of flabbergasted and at a loss for words with these interceptions. All 3 of our quarterbacks got in on the action today, and we were led by Nate Myers getting 253 yards, 2 touchdowns, and like I've been saying, those 3 interceptions. So I'm really just going back and forth in my mind with what we're doing going forward, but I think I'm just going to let him start the next game, see how it goes, but I'm not going to, like last season, I kind of stuck with our guy Peteytown for a little too long, and I think this time I'm going to let Nate do it because he's been our starter all season, but really at the first sign of trouble, I'm not going to hesitate this time to bring in David Alote. Chuck Noll didn't get a lot of opportunities, but he made good use of them with 5 carries and 63 yards, while Manu Ochi had 5 carries and 39 yards and a rushing touchdown. Justice Vandermeide broke out a little bit today as he had 10 catches for 105 yards and a touchdown, while Alex Payne had 8 catches, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Defensively, Eric Gooden led us with 10 tackles. We were able to get a nice pass rush going today, led by Thomas Caver getting 1.5 sacks and DeAndre Hepburn getting 1.5 sacks. And then we got 1 sack each from Gio Arma, Sean Leonhardt, Byron Leon, and Jake Arkin. And then Eric Gooden got himself half a sack. And we keep on saying Eric Gooden's name, but he also had an interception in this game. And then George Emanuel opened up the proceedings with that pick 6 for 39 yards. And finally, Manuel Amador hit his only field goal of the day with a 49-yarder. Before we find out who our opponent is going to be in the Big 12 championship game, just taking a look at recruiting, Elijah Addison is still in first place. Don't know if this is just going to be that glitch where it kind of just stays here for a while until the guy commits later on in the season, but if that's the case, we will take it because that means we'll get him, but we'll just see what happens. We are officially in a recruiting battle with Miami for Leon Brahms. I'm just hoping we have enough of a lead where they're catching up to us. Won't do much for them, but we'll just have to wait and see. And despite that scare from Miami, we are going to bring in Leon Brahms. And for the Big 12 championship game, we are going to be taking on the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and we have a little bit of history with them, as they were the team we beat for our first playoff victory as a program a couple seasons ago. So that'll conclude our perfect 12-0 regular season. In the next episode, we're going to be taking on Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship game, and then we'll see what happens after that. I'll see you guys in the next video.